Hello everybody, Shane here with the Dawn of the Creeper, and this one was based off a request, and it is actually going to be the first tutorial in a series that will be RPG Maker MV tutorials. So this one is one that I would not normally do, but I guess other people have trouble creating a character creation screen that they seem is good. So I am here to show you what I did for my character selection screen and how you guys can do something related to it. So first, I'm here at TextCraft. Now normally I would use Cool Text, but their servers are currently down. This is an alternative. So I'm going to go over here, choose one of these. I already have a full set chose. Go back to right there, choose that, and since I'm weird, I want a red glow around the edges. I feel like it gives it a nice look, and I don't typically use 3D style view. So moving on from there, let's go up here. We enter our text right there, and we're going to do character select. Alright, now this is the only one that I'm going to be doing here because the rest I already have. So let's go into character select. It's going to automatically download it, and now let's hop into RPG Maker MV. So up here in the top corner we have our character, and aside from that you can use custom width for your map. It's not going to change anything. If you guys have a lot of options, make your map bigger to fit the amount of options. That's what I typically do. Now for the next step, you're going to want to know your game's width and height, and if you guys change it using a plugin such as Yanfly Core Engine or another one, you're going to want to make sure that you know those two values, because the next step is to make a blank picture with whatever background you guys want. Mine will be black, and this is going to be our character creation screen. So let's start by making a new layer. We're going to make it transparent, and we are going to, actually no, we don't need to do that. We can go ahead and delete that. We're going to go ahead and open up our folder which has all of our files in it. We're going to go and drag in character select, and we're going to resize it to match our needs. So that should do it. You can put it right there. Character select, or character creation, however you guys feel it should be worded. So what I did whenever I was making mine is I used a brown border for mine, so I'm going to go ahead and do that here too, except this time I'm going to use a dark red. I'm going to go and do that, make this a little bit bigger. And this program here that I'm using is GIMP. I decided to stick with free programs except for RPGMV, obviously. So anything that you see me using here is free, and you guys can feel free to use it for yourselves. So there we go. We added our brown border, and actually I'm going to go ahead and undo that and make sure that I do it on the main one, because I don't want it to be on another layer other than the main background layer. So aside from that, I'm going to create a miniature preview screen. So right there. Too big. That should be good. Like that. So now, to make sure that I have it nice and correct, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in real close and make it perfect. There we go. And go ahead and zoom back out, and as you can see now I have a little preview pane that we can apply later. So let's go ahead and select none. And now that we have that, we can go ahead back to this, and you can see that we have a nice little character selection screen, but it has no text or anything like that. So let's start with adding our 3 genders. So I have male, I have female, and I have other. Now for these, I'm actually going to put them down here. There we go. That looks nice. So they will be easier to configure. Just like that. Okay. So now that we have those three things created right there, we are now going to go ahead and make we're going to go and drag in the other ones. So we have our races now. We have human, we have elfkin, we have dragonkin, and I'm actually having a bit of trouble with the size that these things are, so I can do one of two things, and I'm going to do the easier one. Click on them, go over 2%, and change them to 75%, and I'm going to make sure that every single one of these are 75%, and we're going to go and drag them over here across the wall. And the reason I'm making sure everyone is 75% is so that none of them look weird and offset. So 75%. Some of them won't let you do exactly 75% on both, so do what you can. So I'm going to shove these guys close to this wall, and let's go ahead and get human as well. Resize that, 75%. There we go. And I'm going to keep it this low because another button that we need to have is a confirm or continue button. So let's go ahead and drag that button in right now. Confirm. And we're going to keep that nice and big. There we go. So far it's going to look like that. And we have one more race, and that is Wolfkin. So once again, resize. We're going to go in 2% and 75%. Go ahead and drag that right there. And you guys can do fine tuning, make sure that it's exactly where you want it. But as this being a general tutorial, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give them some space in between each other though. There we go. There we go. And once again, that makes that confirm stand out a bit more. Alright, so now that we have that set up, we're going to want a few more sprites. These ones will not be on here. So, first one that we're going to want to do is we are going to want to go ahead and save this. We'll go over to we'll go ahead and do a desktop, create new folder, and we are going to do whatever you want it to be. I'm going to do tutorial series. So in here we're going to do character select. That way, if we ever want to come back in here and change something in here, we can easily do that without having to recreate the entire thing. So, we are now going to export it, and same in tutorial series, and you can export it as PNG or JPEG, recommended as PNG. So now we have that. So if we go back in here over to RPG Maker, and we create a simple event that all it does is auto run, and it creates the new picture, show picture, 1, okay, my bad, we're going to go over here, go to Desktop, Tutorial Series, and we're going to move this inside of the picture area. Alright, now that that's done, we can go ahead and show picture correctly. So there we go, character select. And now to view it in game. And please note that right now you cannot do anything at the character select. It is just going to be a test to see if it is working correctly. So as you can see, it has a nice snug fit, and in my opinion, I like the way it currently looks. So what else can we do for this? How can we make it feel more like a character select? Well, the first thing we need to do is create an arrow.png. Now, I say that, I'm just going to go ahead and do this for the sake of easiness. That didn't work out. There we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and create that for the sake of being easy. So we're going to go ahead and drag that into here. Did that work? No, it didn't. So we're going to go ahead and open, and we're going to go ahead and open that. Alright, there we go. So now we're going to go ahead and resize it to our liking. So I'm going to go ahead and do image auto crop, so that makes it precise. And I'm now going to do image scale image, and I'm going to make it a width of 100 and a height of 75. There we go. May look funny, but that will make a more precise arrow. So let's go ahead and overwrite that image, and now let's go ahead and put that inside of our pictures folder as well. Alright, there we go. So now we have that new picture, and actually after reviewing how big that actually is in game, I'm going to say more or less 80 to 60 is a good ratio. Better for graphics. High definition graphics. So we're going to go ahead and override it. That didn't work out. I'll be right back again. So I've overridden it to the new one. And now if we go back, then go into the game, and we're going to go ahead and do this, and now we want to do show picture 2, and we're going to remember that picture 2 is the cursor. So now is the tricky part. We want cursor 2 to start on, well actually we don't want cursor 2. We want cursor 2's buddy, no, we want cursor's buddy, cursor 2, okay? So how we're going to do that is we're going to go and click on this flip tool, flip it, and now we're going to do export as, and we're going to go into our pictures folder and save it there. Alright, here we are inside of the pictures folder, and we are going to name this arrow 2. There we go. We're going to save background color and all that fancy stuff, and now we're going to go in here. We're going to change your text PNG to arrow. So arrow is pointing to the left and arrow 2 is pointing to the right. So we want to start with arrow 2 on confirm. So how we're going to do that is we want to drag arrow 2 into this one. So let's go and do that. There we go. So now we want to drag it over to where we want it to be. We're going to zoom in right here, and down here in this bottom corner right here you can see what position it is. So as you can see, we're at 3680 and 179. So what we're going to do is 370 and 180. Let's go into the game. We're going to do arrow 2, and we're going to do 370 by, once again, 180. Okay? So after we do that, we're going to make sure that origin is upper left. And now that we know that origin is upper left, we're going to click OK, and now we're going to see if it looks okay. So go ahead and run the game after saving, and as you can see, now the arrow is on confirm. So, how do we make the arrow move, and how do we get our character to appear inside of the preview menu? Okay, so for this we are actually going to need to create some characters. So let's go ahead and start with the human male. So we're going to go ahead and do a strong jawline. Front hair is hardly any. We want him to look really, really manly, because whenever it comes to the bi-gender one, we want him to look sort of manly and sort of feminine, because we don't want to give him a exact gender. So we can just remove the front hair, give him some slick back hair, like that. That looks good. And let's make it dark brown. No, I like black. We're giving some black hair. We're going to give him a nice beard, like that. We're going to make sure that he has human ears, since this is the human race. And now we are going to give him some eyes, whatever eyes you want. I'm going to give him this eyes. Give him some new eyebrows. Give him a nose. Mouth. Some facial marks. Give him some scars if you want. And give him some clothing. So after you have your character set up, you're going to want to do face image. And you are going to do export. And we're going to go ahead and do desktop. And we're going to do tutorial series. And we're going to export it as... Sorry about that. That is going to be silent in the final video, but I just hit the mic, and that was very loud. So, once again, you are going to save this as male_human, and you're going to go ahead and do this for the rest of the races as well. So I'll see you guys again after I do this for every single race and gender. And I nearly forgot to mention, be sure that you do this. Go in here, do export. Go back to your pictures. Make sure that you save them in your faces area, so that you have a reference for the game to know which character it is. So we're going to go male human inside the characters folder. We're going to do walk character, export that into here. We're going to do male_human. And you guys can do multiple different ones chosen at random, or however you guys want to do it. The rest is completely up to you. You can combine all of them together. The only one that needs to be separate from each other is the one in your pictures folder for putting it inside the preview menu. So you will export this one, male_human_damage, and battler, we got male_battler. There we go. So I accidentally just put it as male_battler. You should have done male_human_battler. So, or just male_human. So after you guys do this for all of the races, you guys will have a nice little selection going on. I am only going to be doing this for a male human, a female wolfkin, and a genderless elf. So I'll see you guys after I have those three. Alright, so I went ahead and I finished all three of them. Here's the male human, the other elf, and then we have the female wolfkin. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to auto crop each one. So auto crop, and once again auto crop, and we are going to go ahead and copy this layer over to here. We're going to go ahead and paste it, click to new layer, and drag it in here. We're going to go and find out where you want it. You guys can resize them if you want to fit inside the box. And you're going to find out where it is. So 26 and 158. So let's go over here. And by default, we are going to want to show the male. Human, since that is the first set of options. So let's go in here. And we are actually going to want to do overwrite on every single one. So overwrite, overwrite, and once again overwrite. So there we go. So 26 and 158. So we're going to do 25 and so we're just going to do 125. So go in here and picture 3 will be the character shown. So male human. There we go. And we're going to want 25 and 160. So 25, 160. Make sure it's on upper left. And there we go. So we're going to go ahead and select that. And we're going to save changes. So boom, there we go. So by default, it's going to show the male human. And now we are going to want to configure it. So we are going to go over here. And we are going to go ahead and click Erase Event. So now we are going to want to do a bit of configuring. So right here, we are going to want to create a blank event that says 2, and let's go over here, scroll out. It says Wolfkin is at the bottom. So at first it's selected as confirm, so that's where your character is going to start. So if you go up, you're going to want to go back down to the bottom of the list. So the bottom of the list is Wolfkin. So going up on confirm will bring you down to Wolfkin. So over here we're going to do 2 Wolfkin. Alright. And this one will be continue. So let's name that continue. And down here will be 2, and which one is below? Human. Alright, so now we have 2 Wolfkin, continue, and 2 human. So in human, which will start right here, we are going to want 2 continue. No, it's confirm, my bad. 2 confirm. We're going to click OK, and right here we are going to want to name human. And right here we are going to want to do 2 Elfkin. Alright, so the next one in line is Elfkin, so we are going to want to do 2 human. Right here we're going to do Elfkin. And down here we are going to do 2 Dragonkin. Alright, so now we're at Dragonkin, we want to do 2 Elfkin. Then we're going to name this one Dragonkin. And down at the bottom, 2 Wolfkin. Alright, so now we're going to start up a new one. So note that right here is going to be used not all and continue. So right here we can do a blank one. So name it blank. And we're going to want it same as characters, and we are going to want to do wait for 1 second. And on human, we're going to want to do nothing. So once again, nothing there. So now we are on, we're 1 off. There we go, so humans right there. And now on Elfkin, we're going to want to do 2 male on both sides. Let's go ahead and copy that over. And down here on Dragonkin, we're going to want to do 2 female on both sides. There we go. And now up here, we want to have wolfkin. And above wolfkin, we want 2 dragonkin. And below, we're going to go ahead and do 2 confirm. Let's go ahead and fix this up here where it says continue, confirm. There we go. So now right here is where we're going to start male, female, other. So two other, male, 2 female. Then we're going to want to do 2 male, female, and then other. Alright, and then on the last one, we're going to want to do 2 female, other, male. There we go. So now let's go back over here to wolfkin. On wolfkin, you want to put 2 other on both sides. Okay, down here on male, you are going to want to put 2 elfkin on both sides. Over here on female, we're going to put 2 dragonkin on both sides. And finally, down here on other, we are going to put 2 wolfkin on both sides. Alright, now comes the editing part. So for each one, we're going to completely ignore the centers for now. In fact, you could erase them if you wanted to, but I'm going to leave them. So up here, we have 2 wolfkin. So we are going to put it to through, player touch, and then we're going to do transfer player, fade is none, and we're going to want to put him on wolfkin. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and copy this for future transfers. Then on down it says to human. So now we want to put it to human. Okay. Right here it says to confirm. So we're going to set it to transfer to confirm. Right here on to elfkin, we're going to set it to where it goes to elfkin. And we're going to continue doing this until we have every single slot filled with where we want them to go. Alright, so now once you have that done, we're going to do a little bit more configuration up here in the top corner. So we're going to click right here on Erase Event, click Enter, and we're going to do a Transfer Player, None, and right onto this first one. Alright, and the first thing that we're going to want to do is click New on it, or Enter, and we are going to do where is it? We're going to do, if I can find it, alright, down here in Change Actor Image, we're going to go ahead and click that, and we're going to set the default. So we have human male right there. We have male human, and I actually just put them all in male human because I got lazy. and male battler. So there we go. So by default, it is going to be named, it is going to be, by default, be a male. So there we go. And then it's going to a race event. So now we want to set this up to where if you click, oh man, this is where it starts getting crazy. So we are actually going to create a common event, and we are going to do just one, and we are going to do character, or whatever you want to name it. And down here we are going to do, where is it? We're going to do conditional branch, and we are going to do variable, and we are going to do race. Okay, and we are going to do 1 through 4. So 0 will be 1, that will represent human. Okay, then we have 1, which will represent elfkin, then dragonkin, then wolfkin. So let's do 1, 2, and then 3. And you can go ahead and add comments so that you can remember for yourself. So up here, before anything is done, we can do comment 0 to human, and then we can do 1 is to elfkin, 2 is to dragonkin, 3 is to wolfkin. So there we go. And we are also going to do 0 is to male. Whoops. Oh, I guess that's the max. Let's go ahead and edit that and remove these two. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and add a new one. Comment. We're going to do 0 is to male, 1 is to female, and 2 is to other. So there we go. And now let's do, if race is 0, then we want to check variable gender. And if gender is 0, we want to also have is to be an if then. Then we want to do else, and this one will be 1. So it'll be 2. And now we want to put it all together. So we're going to go ahead and drag this down here. Again, and again. So there we go. Every single one has its own race and then gender. And there are multiple other easy ways to do this, but I feel like this is the simplest to understand. So, if it is a human male, then we want it to, where was it? In here, we want to change all the stuff to the human male. Character to the human male, and battler to the human male. Now, if it is human female, since I don't have anything for that, I'm just going to do error. There we go. Error. Error. And this is for elfkin, so error, error. And then right here we have the other elf. So we're going to go back into here, then we're going to do other elf, and do our transgender elf. So there we go, there we go, and finally, there we go. And then we're going to continue doing error, 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 because we don't have any dragonkin. We're going to do error, space, error. And then here we are going to once again do this, and we're going to do the female wolfkin. So there we go. So now it will do this every single time that you change. So we can further change this, since we are only going to be using this on the character selection screen. We can actually show the preview. So in here we're going to temporarily click OK, and we are going to go ahead and copy this right there. And we're going to go ahead and go back into here, paste it right there, and now we're going to scroll down, paste it right here, and this one is the other elf, so go in here, other elf, keep all the settings the same, since they are the same size, and once again do it for here, and change it to the female wolf. There we go. So, now let's set this up. We have wolfkin right here. So what we're going to do is do control variables, and we're going to control race, since this is wolfkin, and we're going to do 3. And then we are going to run common event character. There we go. So now we're going to do the same thing right here, but this one is a gender. So we're going to do control variables, and we're going to do gender this time. And this one is male, so the constant will be 0. And then we're going to run the common event again. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this onto the rest of them real quickly. Do 1 for female, and then for other is 2. So I'll see you guys whenever I have the full list finished. Alright, so now that I have everything done, if we were to run this right now, it would be playable, but we cannot see where our cursor is. So we start on confirm. So if we scroll down, click on Elfkin, we can see that something went wrong. So how do we check what went wrong? Well, that is very easy. What we do is we're going to go in here, and we're going to do shift click on all of these, and then control X. We're then going to go down 1, paste them, and don't change any of the other settings. There we go. We're now going to run it. All of our characters here. And as you see, the error that we were actually having is we did not set them to transparent and through. So we cannot walk through these blocks yet. So we can easily fix this by going in here, through, and player touch. Like that. There we go. We're going to do player touch, below characters, through, and we're going to go ahead and do that for the rest of them. But to make sure that it's working correctly, we're going to go ahead and go back in. And for some reason this is not working, so I'll be right back while I figure out what I did wrong. Alright, so I remember exactly what it is. The thing is you need to have a tile on the bottom of the level that you can walk on. So there we go. Let's go ahead and save and play. There we go. But as you see, the rest have not been set up yet. So let's get to that so we can finish this. Alright, there we go. So as a quick way to identify where the things are while you're testing it, is you can place a different tile type where they belong. So let's go up, puts us there, as it should do. Up, 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 okay. So how about here? So we need to set these to be same as characters, so we're not able to walk through them. So I did not do these two either on any of them. So I'll be right back, and easily testing this can tell you which ones you missed and how you can fix them. So in here, we set this to same as characters, and what we can do for that is copy, delete, 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 and just paste them. Like that. So right here, we actually didn't set these ones up. So I'm going to go ahead and make this really, really easy and show you guys a small tip that I use. This one says to Elfkin. That shouldn't do it. Anyways, to Elfkin. And this one goes to Wolfkin, as it should. Same as right here. Sorry for saying Elfkin earlier. And this one says to Dragonkin, which is right here. We're just going to copy, delete, delete, paste, paste. And right here, to Elfkin, which would be right here. So we are going to copy, delete, delete, paste, paste. And just as a quick verification, this one is set up correctly. So let's go ahead and give it one more run, and hopefully this time it is correct. So we can't go sideways, can't go sideways, can't, oh, we're allowed to go sideways there. Takes us to the correct place. Okay, that one works. Go over here. Okay. We go down. Okay, now let's try going up. Alright, so that one is done. Let's go to over here. We're going to go up, down. Alright, so it is fully finished. And we know that every single path works. So now we can go ahead and drop these back into here. Right there, okay. And then we are going to go ahead and trial run it. So let's go down, down to Elfkin. It says error. Let's go over to male, female. Okay. So we can't do this without so right now we are at human, Elfkin. Here. We're going to go over to male, female. Okay, it's still giving us an error. I believe I might have set it up on the wrong one. Gender is 1, and race is 1. Race 1, gender 1. That's because it was an other. Okay, my bad. So let's try this again. We're going to go down to elf, get us that error, go down here, over to other. There we go. It is going to show that up. So now let's click on female, and let's go up to wolf. There we go. So as you can see, it even changed our character, and if we go inside here, it changed there too. So now that we have all that in place, we have one small thing to do left, and that is to set up the arrows. So we can go ahead and throw these back in here, and now let's get to setting up the arrows. So the easiest way to do this is, well, first let's go ahead and set up the one for continue. So we go down on here, it's continue. Right there. We go up right here. It's to confirm. There we go. And those are the only ways to confirm. So now when we move to those ones, it will move us and then move it to confirm. So now let's set it up for human. Now let's make sure we got it in the place that we want. We're going to go up here into the top corner, and we got 500, 320. 500, 320. Okay. So we're going to do 2 human, 500, 320. And let's go ahead and grab that and paste it on the other 2 human, which would be up from the elf. So there we go. And now it's where it starts getting annoying. So another way that you can do this, which would probably make it easier, which once again I don't do because I like explaining it step by step, is you could do this at the beginning and then place your tiles after you're done setting all the tiles up, which will allow you to do it grouped up and easier. So we're at 515 and 405. So what? 2 Elfkin is 515, 405. 515 and 405. So there we go. There is our Elfkin, and up from Dragonkin is 2 Elfkin. And once again, this is where it gets tricky. 2 Elfkin, 2 Elfkin. You gotta remember those ones. So, next one is the Dragonkin. So let's go ahead and go out, set up where we want it to be Dragonkin. Go ahead and zoom back in to get our position. 375, 480. So 375, 480. There we go. Let's go ahead and copy that and put it on any 2 Dragonkin. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of them. Well, for Wolfkin, and then I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. So now we are going to go ahead and use our flip tool to get our original arrow. And we're going to go ahead and drag it over here. Up to male. And once again, we're going to get our top left position, which is 215, 390. So, right here, to male is going to be arrow 1, the original arrow. And this one is going to be, once again, 215, 390. There we go. So let's go ahead and copy that and paste it to everywhere where it applies. There we go. So now we're just going to finish that up and repeat like we did with the other ones. And I'll see you guys after I'm done placing all the. Alright, there we go. So I finally have it all set up. So let's go ahead and test it. So working good. So let's go ahead and choose female. Okay. And let's choose Wolfkin. There we go. So as you can see, it's working, and you guys can set up the files in the common events for every single different gender, and that would be the way you guys could set up a character creation. Now, another way is you guys can get a plugin for this, but you wouldn't be able to configure it the exact way that you wanted, like you can with this. With this, the sky is your limit, technically. Well, there are limitations, but you can do pretty much anything that you want that is simple. One thing that there is a slight lag whenever you move up and down, but you can easily remove that by putting it on same layer and then doing player touch, and that will make it near instantaneous, but still a very small delay. I happen to like this small delay. I think it feels more natural and doesn't let the player speed through all the options. I don't know. So we can do human male just to show it off again. And whoops, I have trouble remembering which one is the... Oh, that was full screen. That's FPS. Alright, oh well. Well, you could bring up your... what's it called? Your variables to check which one's being changed, to make sure it's changing correctly on the correct click, etc, etc. And you guys can change this to however you like. The layout can be completely different. I was just giving you guys the example of how to do it so you guys can create your own. I will show you guys the one that I'm using for my game Tale of Artia here right now. Alright, here we go. So now we are at character creation, and it is loading. There we go. I'm still having to create title screen and all that. So we have only male and female on mine, and I'm not giving you guys a race choice, but I'm giving you the choice to select a class on mine. And there is multiple ways that you guys can change this to your own liking, such as I have selected Blue Mage right there, and then I have a little portrait for male and female. And then I also have a naming screen, which you guys can choose to name your own character. And to make your character disappear down there, all you have to do is go into your settings, right here, and on System, you're going to want to do Start Transparent. So, thank you guys for watching. Shane here, or the Dawn of the Creeper. This has been a RPG Maker MV tutorial. Pretty long, I know. It took me over 2 hours to make, so I hope you guys enjoy. Peace.